Traders, let's talk about some awesome similarities. So the first, let's jump in gold 15-minute time frame, and I want to show you one thing here, what was happened yesterday. Let's say if you use the Fibonacci, and some interesting things to see in the future too is, so first we have the same thing, the four structures, what is pushing higher, we have those four structures. So now I want to show you something with the Fibonacci. So I see when people is doing something like that, they put the Fibonacci here. So what is happening right now, your entry point is this one, and then market is gonna go straight back and stop you out. But now if you take the full movement, bottom to the top, same top, so what you see now, where is your entry point here? Exactly where was the stop out, the previous Fibonacci. So I'm gonna delete the previous one. You see, that's your entry here to actually going long. So it takes you out, and a little bit manipulation there too, 100%. But you see how all those four structures are pushing higher, and then we have the four structure pullback to the 618. So when we're going to do the same thing right now, we have this all Monday movement to the up. So if you're going to look right now at the Monday movement back to the all-time highs, equal highs. Yep. And now if you're going to take the whole structure, what is pushing the highs, I want to show you something what is super interesting. This zone here, very sweet zone. This zone here, very sweet. But look at this one here. Look at how your stop loss is so close. Where is the last entry point? The 618, the first entry point, 0.7 second entry point, and 786, the third entry point, and then you have the stop loss here. Look at how close they are. This spot here is super sweet. For example, if we're gonna one thing first, and look at how the price is doing. We have the first structure, price is right now making the second structure here. So now those zones, so what I'm seeing right now, what the price is doing, is going inside here, and then and start going up. So then we're gonna make the third structure, and then we have the spiky structure inside the 618. For example, if you delete it, going back to the 4 hour, I'm gonna do the same thing here. Look at where we have the touch here. Exactly the same zone. Exactly the same zone. So the price is already doing that previously. And if you're looking right now here, what we have? First structure, we have the second structure, we have the third structure, and then we have the fourth one, the spiky one. And retesting back to the 618. So now if you're using this low here, back to this one, look at how beautiful the 618 retest is here. Same thing, 1, 2, third, and the fourth one is spiky one. Same thing what was happening inside here in lower time frame. first structure, second one, third one, and the fourth one, and it retesting the 618. So what do you think? Can price can do the same thing right now? Full structure up here, and the Monday structure up here. We have the first structure, price is doing the second one. What is gonna be like something like that, and then price is gonna go din 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 din, and then dong, break the third structure high, what is here, and then pull back to the 618, and then start going higher. So then we have first structure, the second is right now making inside the sweet zone, it's gonna be the third structure, and then we have the spiky one here. This is just one similarities. So what you see right now here, we can do exactly the same thing. We have the same structure going up. Imagine if you put your Fibonacci now here to your highs, what was happening? You get stop out here. But now, if you take in the second structure here, look at that. That was your entry point here. And that was your stop loss here. In the minor structure, you get stop out, but if you look in the full structure, it was super solid entry and take profit 3 hit. So here can be the similar thing. If you're looking here, the full structure, what's pushing higher, and then the second structure here. Look at now here, where is your stop loss and where is your entry point? Look at how close they are. Those are the points what market makers are going to do, because they are all about money. They just want money, 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 and more money. And we have to realize that, because market makers are making the markets. We don't have enough money to move markets, so we have to use an engineering of it. It's just very interesting points what you can see, especially if you're using the Fibonacci and looking the similarities of price action behavior. Ooh, spiky one. Yeah, one thing here is go back to 4 hour. I want to show you something what maybe most people even don't know. It's a little bit here. So when I'm gonna do right now super clean market structure is the highs here and equal lows. That's the super clear structure. Now here again, those lows here, and I'm gonna take this high here. That's the pure market structure, and here too, that's the pure. But look at now what is happening. I want to tell you about story what is happening inside here, exactly this place. And if you're looking, I want to show you this place and this place, like 100% exactly. So what is happening here? So right now what you can see is it's pushing down here and it's pushing up here. So what's gonna happen when those two forces are pushing everything together here? What is happening inside here? For my mind is it's super spiky, and we can call it anxiety too, because that's the behavior on what we receive. When you have line, there is something is pushing and pulling, and then you have like spiky. Let's say if you put anxiety on the radio wave, that's what is going on. It's super fast. But now if I'm gonna bring this zone here all the way here to here, go back in the 15-minute time frame, I want to show you the first reaction here. What was the first reaction here? Straight gone. And the second time, right now, what is going on today? Straight gone. So what was happening the first time when the price was doing that in the higher time frame? Price was doing the 618 retest. So if I'm gonna put this one now all the way here to the here, so what the price was doing, the 618 retest. But now if you're gonna look at this one, so what do you think? If price is gonna go make the retest and continue the principles? I see a good possibility. And this one here, it's between the every single let's say the market structure. It's between every single structure, because we have, you know, those breaking through moments here. For example, this one is here again. If you look in the one, you take in the this week low and this week high here. Inside here, look at how clean was the movement when the price was inside here. You know, very clean. Yeah, I'm just calling anxiety because that's what I'm seeing when, you know, it's reflecting. So what is happening, people are getting scared or fear and everything stepping in because the price is just going higher. And especially we have like 1 week movement, so we have the breathing area. Every single one was maybe who was longing here, they get a little bit scared and maybe there's like, oh, I don't want to take those longs anymore because we have 5 days straight longs. You know, all this kind of behavior in the top notch level back to the beginner level, and the beginners anyway going up and down everywhere there. Same thing with here. But this is what the price is already being doing, you know, all the time. We are stepping because this one here is the 618 retest again. So we have here too 618 retest. So this is 618 retest. This is 618 retest. This was the minor 618 retest. And what do you think? Can price want to do that? Or what you think, the price is gonna be super weak, going back in this kind of range, and maybe then we're gonna go. Then we have the higher time frame, super strong legs down here. Because for example, if you're holding the major trade, this one here, the 618 retest, your stop loss is here, and you're still holding your trade because your take profit is here. interesting. But one thing what is good for us, we break the highs. It's not some kind of perfect one, but we did it. Same thing with the first one. If you look in the first highs, we break the highs here. Same thing, it wasn't the perfect one, but we have the 618 retest and we start breaking the highs again. Now if you look in this high here, we break the highs again. We have very bearish pattern here too, like strong one. This can indicate we can have a deeper pullback. For example, like here we have very strong pullback here. That's the major one. That's right now the minor pullback. So it's gonna be a little bit, this movement was the major movement pullback. This is the minor movement pullback. Different volume and weight there. So that's the same thing what I was doing here yesterday. Just on my own. Look in the structures, try to understand. Like here, for example, what we have to understand, there is two patterns together, two structures. And if you're looking, for example, I'm gonna look the place. Yep, I'm gonna look the place like that. So look at how we see how the price is going up here. Actually, I'm gonna show the points. This one's here. This one's here. This one's here. And now you see, if you zoom in the minor level, what you're gonna see is you see structures here and you see structures there. If you're gonna zoom in like that, and if you put, let's say, the same line here, I'm gonna delete the box, you see the very similar behavior around that area. And like they're all hanging on those things. You see very sharply actually that. And now that's this one, and if you put this one here, we have only the retest here. For example, like same retest like here, or same retest like here. And now you see where is the shifting point, where is the weight under and above it. So right now we see the weight is above it, all the structure before the break. Now this weight is bouncing here, now this weight is bouncing here. We try to break above it, but no. Now this weight is here and we break it and going more lower. For example, now this structure is here. As soon as when price was going back in the same structure here, what was happening? We get rejected. Let's say here, where is the structure? This one here. And now if you're gonna bring this structure here, what you see? The price was bouncing off that structure here. For example, this is bouncing here. This structure is still here. And we bounce back up. That's how you see how they're moving between the structures. And now if you zoom out, if you look in the 4 structure pullback, if you zoom out, what you see? That's the structure here, and that's the structure here. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this whole one, and then we have, very spiky one here, super spiky. The same spikiness, let's say, what is happening here. Remember when we talk about this place? This structure down here is still bouncing, ding ding ding, and now we have this super spike and going upsides. Right now is the very similar thing here. This let's see actually, where is this one? This one, and now bring this one here. What is happening inside here? See, when we have structure here, that's the next structure, because we have to break in movement, and this one is the next structure here. And now we have this structure here. So it was. So if I'm gonna delete the big one, and I'm gonna bring this structure here. Ooh. You see how we retest that structure here? Exactly same like this structure here. Delete this one. We retest the same. But every journey what we have, or where those places are, is different. You cannot just take this kind of principle and making one time thing. It's not. It has to be super flexible. You have to understand the flow inside here. It's not how to say correctly. It's not. Yeah, overall it has to be flexible. That's what it is. It has to be flexible. But it's good information if you understand. So now let's take everything, and I'm gonna show you the same thing again. The anxiety, what was happening this week low and this week high here. And if you zoom in, look at those rejections inside that zone. Rejection, look at the market rejection here. It's like the same one here. Look at those wicks. The same one here. That's not super, that's actually strong, but here we see a lot of activity. And now look at those two here. Super spiky. Super spiky. And overall, if you look in price action around this area, it's a very spiky. You know. There is definitely some kind of good information there for, you know, going back testing. I'm just seeing those moments right now, and I'm not focusing those too much anymore. But I remember back in days I was looking these zones, and how I say, those zones can be turnaround zones because the fear is kicking in. Those things can be your take profit areas. Those zones can be the fast zones. For example, let's say if the same zone is here, and now we have, let's say, the previous high here, and now price is making the equal highs, and now let's say we have pullback, and soon as when the price is back here, this can be a zone like that, just straight candlestick up. I'm seeing loads of times happening around the same area, a lot of times. That's something interesting. And let's talk about Phoebe here, because there is some interesting thing to talk about too. If you look in the Fibonacci, or let's say if you're looking the Fibonacci and you add element of ego. One sec. And you add element of ego. So what the first price is doing, we definitely break the highs. So let's put the Fibonacci here, all the way here to the here. So what we see, how the price didn't reach the 618 at all. It's like, yeah, we are strong one, we are going just higher. So now Here we have another breaking structure, and here we have another breaking structure. I'm gonna just put randomly Fibonacci here to there too. And what we see again, we didn't reach the 618. So now we have the new breaking structure. I'm gonna put the same Fibonacci here to there. Look at that. Now we retest the 618. So, but we have another structure break. So I'm gonna put another Fibonacci, the same bottom, back to the highs. But look at now, we get stop out. You see how, let's say, the behavior is changing with every structure break. Here we are like, oh yeah, we are super strong, we don't need retest, just let's go boys. Another structure break, kind of same story. Yeah, we don't need more motivation or energy, we just go. Now the third time, ooh, we actually need some more breathing area. Okay, let's retest the 618. And then the fourth time we get stop out. You know what is interesting? We just get stop out. And remember when we was talking about the anxiety zone here? And when the fear is kicking in, and the losing and the take profit, stop loss areas, and all this fear and everything kicking in, the same area when we get stop out. So now we have a new structure break. What is going on now? So let's see how this, can we say what's happening here? Because this is the structure break too. Maybe back to the equal highs. That was the first direction, but let's see this one. Let's see how the price is holding now, this kind of area. And look at where is the anxiety. The anxiety is very close in the stop loss area. Again, now we have to start thinking about what the market makers want to do. They need money. That's the only thing what they are doing. And we already get stop out one time here. We already get stop out. And it's very impulsive movement here too. You know, just some interesting thoughts and things to think if you want to be a trader. Have a flow around the tools what you're using. Try to master your tools. Try to understand actually what those numbers are meaning. Because it's not just, you know, bunch of numbers. It's a very strong meaning behind those things. My Fibonacci is a little bit different because I have my own meaning behind every single movement here. And my own meaning is from leaves. Leaf. I want to show you some images of leaves. Close up looks. For example, this one here. Can we zoom in? Can we zoom in here? No. So basically what's going on, look at how the leaves are moving. I need better. Oh, what's happening here? Anyway, here, look at how the leaves are actually breaking the structure. This is the previous highs here. The price is going back to the, the leaf is going back to the highs. And what's happening? We have the breaking structure. We are breaking above the last one. We have the pullback and breaking again. And we have the pullback and now going to highs. And look at opposite sides. The leaf is breaking the previous lows, retest, break the previous lows, retest, and break. Now we're back to the equal lows and back to here. Look at all those tips and everything, how those leaves are actually making the same movements. For example, let's take the different leaf, like this one here. It's doing the same thing we break the previous high, retest, break the previous high, retest, break the previous highs, retest. Like every single leaf, go into nature and look those leaves. That's what I was figuring out back in the days. And here what you see is the pure Fibonacci. That's the purest Fibonacci what you can find. Every single leaf. That's the purest Fibonacci what you can find. And even you found those patterns, if you actually zoom in, you can find very interesting things. But here what we see, it's the same natural movement, but so much noise, so much manipulation, because the market makers want to make money and nothing else. They don't care, nothing else. They just money, 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 more power, more everything what is behind that. Just everything more. Everything what is material thing. Everything what is 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's what they want. But what the Fibonacci is originally is 1 plus 1 equals 3. That's the purest Fibonacci. That's why we have here, because all those market makers want more. But now you have to actually mastering Fibonacci to understanding 1 plus 1 equals 3. Pure life, pure nature, pure flow, or you can develop mending your own name, how you want to call it. But that's the nature of close look. And if you zoom in, you know those points. Can we zoom in somehow here? Nope. Somehow. But if you zoom in, you see all those same movements, the pure Fibonacci movements, and that's exactly what the market is doing. Look at those. Ding 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 ding. I was looking back in these months. I was kind of, I think 4 months, just pure nature. I was photographing leaves, put in the computer, zoom so much in, print it out. Look, all those movements. I even measure those movements, and those measurements are actually my Fibonacci. But of course I put a little bit more development behind it, because let's say because it's not the pure Fibonacci we are using with the market movements. So that's why I was taking the numbers. I was going back years and years and start measuring the every single pullback what we have. And then I was looking those numbers, where the price is pulling back, why, what was the reason. And then I look those whole reasons with the kind of human behavior, try to put some human emotions and understanding what is the reason, what is the why we make this movement, and why the market makers make this movement. And then I found the equilibrium of every single movement, every single number. That's why I have the 618, what is the original golden zone. So that's the like OG principle. So it's not, this is gonna be the every single time there. 0.7, 786 and 886 is the stop loss. The psychology zones, what is, they are reflecting the same movement. It doesn't matter where price is above it or below it. If we're gonna respect this zone, we are gonna respect that zone. If you're gonna respect that zone, we are respecting that zone. So it's a pure this section here is the pure spiritual life, to put the more character behind the market makers, because we are still humans, and we are still can reflecting the careness even if you don't understand it. That's why those two zones are here, and they are working, how to say, if I'm gonna do the Fibonacci here, they are working like this, plus minus minus plus. Then there is, perfect flow. inside here. That's how I call it. So it's gonna be ding, or it's gonna be ding ding. It's pureness, but it's all your own development, and of course the backtesting to understand something and realize something. Because the thing is, you have to do the work. You have to do work, and if you zoom in and you're in the same, let's say, the flow level, those things happen in your mind, those little things, when you get the information, and that's your own personal development. What is the most necessary thing in this trading world? To have your own words to describe why. So gold is making the second structure. We have the first one. We have the equal high rejection. What is very bullish, how to say, momentum? Yeah. One thing what we have here is the bearish pattern. So definitely price is making the pullback movement back to somewhere here. Very interesting W pattern is forming here. Interesting. We have comment here. Watch it 5 times yet, maybe after 10. Oh, that is exactly what we're talking about now. It is all personal development, because the thing is, in this real life is when I give you the answer, but we have to understand it's my answer and it's coming from the journey. But now if I give you just the answer, you don't have this journey. And if you start using the same answer in your own development, you can have some big troubles there, because you don't know the meaning. So that's why I'm doing the same thing. I'm talking about the details and the similarities, the connections, and it's all about the behavior, because the mostly what is moving the market is humans. It's 100%, it's no doubt. But we're still leaving, how to say, the mind map or the engineering or the blueprint behind it. So what we see there is actually the pure behavior, but you have to tune in, you have to sink in, you have to find the flow, the understanding, and everything to mastering that kind of state is you have to let it go. Because if you want to master the same state with kind of, power mindset or money mindset or something, and you're seeking totally something else, not the truth, you can have serious problems, mental problems. That's why you have to do your own inner journey. I give you those little details for you to look it up, and if you're looking up with the pure heart, you have emotion inside there, and you're feeling like, ooh, oh wow, that's interesting. So now that's the point. So now figure out why you say to yourself, oh, that's interesting, and that's what you have to do. And now you understand the why it was interesting. You have to go deeper with the philosophy mindset. You have to see the pattern and going underneath the pattern and realize what is holding, what is yes and what is no, what is black and what is white, what is holding that spike up, the spark, the touch of spark. And through that you have now your own words, and you are reinforcing the same little detail. And if you're practicing that, the same little spark is getting more stronger. And what I mean is it's became the muscle memory. And now it's all about muscle memory here. in the trading. Muscle memory. And if you have more those muscle memory points, those details, those touches, what is happening in the future after, let's say, 2-3 years trading, you're starting getting into the flow. You're developing the flow. And what is happening inside the flow? You have no emotions. You have no needs, like I want to do that. No anxiety, no those spiky emotional impulse movements, because you're state of the flow. And this is what is happening. It's almost, let's say example, you're walking somewhere where it's like kind of shaky ground. Let's say you're walking with the flip-flops with mountainside, and you're slipping, and then you have those super fast reflection where you kind of save yourself. Those are the same things. You're in the flow so smoothly. When something's happened, you fix it straight away without no thinking, no thoughts, no fear, it's gonna go bum. That's the pure muscle memory. And here is the same thing. You see those moments, the shaky moments, and that's your entry points, because you understand how the market makers are making the money. Exactly where those shaky moments are, exactly where is the biggest possibilities, the biggest opportunities, and the biggest possibilities and opportunities to the market makers. We have to understand how they're thinking. And those are actually the sad points too, because it's manipulation and noise around our pure mindsets. The behavior what we have, how we behaving those movements. And market is building up the structure and pattern where the final movement is the pure breaking structure, upside or downsides. And that's the moment where their entries or taking the day profits, and it's all there, very bright and clear in front of your face if you look in the screen here. And the other thing, how we stopped yesterday video was about talking about the same kind of state where you are inside the perfect flow. So what is going on if you look in the structure all the time? So what I'm doing is I'm holding all those small little touch information inside my flow state. So because I'm almost, I have some kind of strong pattern what is behind me, what is supporting me, and I'm moving, and every single new pattern, new structural movement or new principles, I'm adding that same principles on the previous information what I have already. I'm adding +1, +1, +1. And soon as when this information behind me, what is supporting me, is kind of ready of the opportunity, or ready of the breaking structure, or ready of the pattern maker. So what is happening, I'm gonna take that trade in my mind first. I'm not making the physical action to to press the button in my phone or in my computer. The first is happening in my mind, because I have all this information, opportunities, and opportunities, and what's the other words? Opposite. Damn. Okay, I have those opportunities, and when they all give me, let's say, they give me the green light to take that trade, and it's safe and it's smooth and it with no noise, with manipulation, I'm taking the same trade in my mind, because I have all those opportunities and possibilities to see now not like future, but let's say the age what I have, my own personal age. I can see how this movement can happen in that moment, And what it is the opportunity, and it's the possibilities. And I'm gonna take that trade now in real life. I'm gonna open my seed trader, and I'm gonna take the trade. I don't know if it's gonna make sense, but it's it's very deep down in the flow state, with no thinking, just looking those very specific points, and you just memorizing those points. You're making those in your muscle memory, and you holding those things. Well, actually, they holding you, actually, because if you're in the flow of the state, those are behind you, or your foundational information, and they are holding you up. And every time when it's going those, the major +1s, the minor +1s, or the micro +1 informations, it's forming there, and it's forming those, upside or downside. We have the breaking structure, or we have the rejection. We have the rejection highs or rejection lows. That's information. But all this information is inside the previous information. So, for example, this one right now is inside this one. And now when we're gonna go, let's say, the 1 hour time frame, all this one is inside this one, and this one is inside this one. And now if you're gonna go 4 hour, so now we see all those are inside this one. You see how interesting it is? It's just information, and it's going, let's say it's going stim, and it's going like that, and it's gonna be the opposite, it's gonna be the same, and then you have equilibrium here, and then you have all those very specific natural points there. And that's what the trading mindset is. Keeping for actually to going back to actually understanding the flow state, it is a strong discipline. It needs a very strong discipline first to build a disciplined muscle memory. You have to break your body, basically. You have to do it. It's necessary to do years and years and years, and then it's become the muscle memory. And when the discipline is the muscle memory, oh my god, that's the point where nothing is gonna break you. You're unbreakable. Your mindset is literally unbreakable, and you have some very interesting places to go inside your mind. The levels underneath it, the levels above it, left and right, black and white, the movements, oh wow. I wish I can share how I can say it. I wish I can share it, the proper understanding, if your mind is this place, when your discipline is muscle memory. And that's the time when trading starts getting super boring for most of people. For me, it's never boring because I'm learning every single day. I'm not stopping. For example, what the people most is doing is they found some kind of thing and they just stop somewhere. They never look deeper. They never gonna go look the truth or the wisdom or something. Why those places? They just doing something. And if it's working, I don't see any kind of reason why it's bad. But just for me, I'm a little bit different person, and I'm never give up. It's still learning. I'm still learning every single day, and it's when I understanding there is more to learn, I'm not gonna stop. I'm learning more and more and more, because when I'm opening the trading view every single day right now, I'm still like, ooh, nice, what's going on there? And then I'm like zoom in 5-10 minutes, and then I get the final, how to say, the the final touch of the equilibrium between the yes and no. So I'm gonna go so deep down when I found the black and white, yes or no, and the fine line between that, the cold and the stretch, the coldness stretch, to get all those layers together, and then have, how to say, I'm gonna put my own emotions, those little details, and through that I understand why those movements was making, especially for the market makers. And that's the weakness of the market makers, and that's what the trading is. But it's still, because they are teams with the, I think, like with the billions dollars or euros or something, and there's too many people. But if you're understanding that touch there, that touch there, that touch there, that touch there, they are all showing to you actually the underneath of pattern for that. And if those patterns are your muscle memory, the trading is coming so smooth. It's funny. It's funny because if you're a beginner, like for me, I understand when I first looking the screen, when I was basically my first week on the trading journey, I just look in that screen like 2 hours straight, and I was like, what is going on? I have 0 words in my mind. And now I'm realizing those points, like how deep I'm going to actually mastering that state is just, I never thinking I'm kind of, this person who make those movements, or I didn't know even all these things even exist in the first place. And that's why it's funny, but it's happy funny. It's because it's my words and my motivation, my discipline, my own questions. And when I don't found the question, I'm gonna look underneath the question, where this question is support, and look in those roots. And then I'm going through those roots more deeper and even more deeper. And then you start seeing those kind of very original underneath the patterns, those strong patterns, what is holding, let's say, the principle 1 + 1 = 3, what we're talking about, very, very deep patterns, what is so pure. Even the how to say, let's say the market makers, they want money, power, everything, and even they cannot, how to say, they cannot build a structure above it to protect this little chink of the armor. They cannot do it because, how to say, my motivation and my, the the reason, the why I'm in that place, I can still see it, because most likely they are thinking, the market makers are thinking, no one is going so deep to understanding their own patterns, but there are people who's doing that, and those are actually the real traders in this world. A couple of few traders in this world, and that's the ultimate state of the flow and the discipline and everything, how you can trade. It's just looking those little touches, and understanding what is going on, especially what the market makers are doing, because they are moving the markets. Those are the only market movers. We cannot move the markets because we don't have, enough money. But there is some crazy points where you can do some incredible things if you really understand. And one thing is, if you really understand the human mindset, our own mindset, who you are and what is going on up here. Because that's who is other sides. there's no one else. Of course we have like some kind of OG market algorithms, AI traders, the numbers and all those things, but it still doesn't matter, because the majority of the market movers are actually the humans, and they are there is behavior patterns behind it, because every single action what you do through the computer, you push the button in a very specific place. So that's mean there is your blueprint, your mind map, your patterns, your emotions, those are inside that exactly the same movement, and we have to zoom in those movements. Looks like a lot of work, but I find that what it is, the real training mindset, something what people was doing hundreds of years ago, where wasn't computers, no phones, no internet, just the purest minds and the purest hearts. The philosophy to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to understanding the line, the switch between the knowledge and wisdom, and going even more deeper to actually use your crazy monkeys in your minds. Let's say thousand monkeys are there, and actually calm those 1,000 monkeys so purely down, they all focusing one point and try to understand why. So every all those 1,000 monkeys in your mind, they have a different word. Every monkey has a different word what is describing the same one thing. What is your question? And through that you have roots, you have patterns, you have emotions, you have ups and downs, you have movements, you have structures, you have foundation levels, you have reinforced levels, because it's all words. How stronger you know your words, that's your philosophy. Deeper, under, left and right, above it, under that, what is lie, what is truth, what is black and white, yes or no, and so on. And don't forget the golden the stretch between all those layers. Anyway, I'm gonna finish right now. Yep, 420. You're gonna watch that video I think 5 times more, but that's the true information. That's something what is make us warriors. The mindset, the warrior is mindset, and that same thing, the warrior was mindset back in days too. People just right now talk about, oh, the warriors are all those war people. No, the warrior is same thing with the mindset. Trading is same thing with the mindset. Philosophy is same thing with the mindset. Psychology, same thing with the mindset. They are supporting very strong patterns in your mind, and if you can make those patterns with your muscle memory, reinforce those things, support those things, you are unbreakable. No one can break your minds, no one. And it's kind of okay, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, but there is so crazy journeys between those things. For example, depth of the ego, that is just some mind-blowing crazy journey what you can do. Other thing is, for example, mastering your 7 chakras, your honey and milk liquid, or the golden and silver liquids up your to your pinnacle, and mastering the level of the creation, what is your the crown chakra, where you're letting all go, all those elements, earth, fire, air, and water. Then you have all those like dragon, eagle, tiger, all those. It's some crazy stuff what is you have to master if you want to reach those states, but it's the work, and it's something what warriors doing. Anyway, I'm gonna finish right now, because we are again talk 1 hour, what is crazy. I'm super sorry you have to all listen that, but I'm gonna see you every single one tomorrow. Thank you and ciao.